Hi guys, and a very warm welcome to this video series on Schema Lite from Native Instruments. My name is Larry Holcomb, aka Get to Know, and I'm here to deliver this video series with Groove 3. So Schema Lite uses the Schema engine from Native Instruments. The kind of ethos of the plugin is to provide a kind of very user-friendly, playable library of bright, shining melodic patterns. So it's designed to work in the upper range of the kind of frequency spectrum, so that little bit kind of ear candy and those upper sheen kind of frequencies, that's where it exists. And it's great for things like film scores and soundscapes, just adding some kind of upper interest to any type of music, really. So you think like bells, keys, pluck strings, xylophones, glockenspiels, things like that. And these are kind of layered sound, which often have a lot of interesting rhythm to them as well. So in this first video now, we've kind of given an overview of the ethos of the plugin. We're going to go through the interface and where everything is. So this is obviously a Contact instrument, which you load up within Contact 7. I had to update my Contact 7 to run this plugin, so you may have to do an update. And then you just access it from the rack view here. You can see Schema Lite here. And if you click on it, it will load up. Okay, let's just remove the side pane there. Okay, so let's have a look at the interface essentially so we can see where everything's located. So this is our main page. You can see we have tabs up here. This is the main view that we're going to be accessing. Now, the way this plugin works is actually a multi-loop player, essentially. So we have 4 independent synced loops. You can see that here, and they're accessed from the main page. So for each one of our loops here, we can change settings related to that specific loop. We're going to go through all this in more detail anyway, but just so you know. So basically, this is our main default page, which shows a visual representation of the instrument. And we have this square in the middle, which shows us the 16 different steps of the pattern in question. Now, at the bottom of the page here, we have these macro controls. Now, this is a quick way of being able to kind of change up the sound over time. So let's just play something. So you can hear that we're able to change the sound using the macro control there. Now, at the top of the main page here, we have the Layers tab. So as we already discussed there, we can click on each one of these Layers tabs here to change the preset that we have loaded up. And then from here, we have these further tabs at the top here on the main page. Main obviously takes us back to this main view. The Mixer tab here allows us to come through and mix the levels and the pan and the outputs of our 4 different layers. Then we have the Effects tab here, which allows us to configure the 2 effects that we can use with this plugin. These are send effects. Now, further on from the Effects tab, we have this little keyboard button here. Now, this allows us to open the key mapping page, and that controls how we're going to use Schema with our MIDI keyboard. So we'll come back to that later. Then finally, up at the top here, we have the Scale engine. Now, this is where we can automatically transpose notes of the current sequence when we're playing it across different keys of the keyboard. So it's always going to fit into this scale. So we can change the scale from here. So let's say we wanted to do C minor, we can do that. So now it's going to lock into that key essentially. And that is an overview of the interface of the plugin. So that's it for this video. So we learned that Schema Lite is designed to create that kind of high-end ear candy sound from in the kind of upper frequency range of your tracks. Great for film scores and soundscapes and textural pieces, and also adding those kind of elements to any kind of music. Now the interface is made up of these 4 pages here. Main is like the default page where we can go and kind of view our 4 layers, and that's the way the plugin works. It's made up of 4 looping layers. And you can see we have our steps located in this central square here. At the bottom here, we have macro controls, which gives us a quick and easy way of changing up the sound over time. The mixer allows us to mix these 4 different layers and pan them and change the outputs. The effects allows us to configure our 2 send effects. Keyboard allows us to configure how the MIDI keyboard is going to control the plugin. And the scale area up here allows us to choose how we're going to lock the plugin into a chosen scale. Okay, so now we're clear on the kind of overview of the plugin. In the next video, we're going to dive in and look at the Layers tabs in more detail. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.